In the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, where daylight filters through the thick canopy, revealing every movement in the woods, we know that every step could lead to a dangerous encounter. The team had been called in by local farmers on the edge of the forest, where wild boars have been destroying maize fields for months and posing a serious threat to livestock safety. In the U.S., hunts like these aren't about bragging rights. They're about protecting the community and maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. That's why we decided to launch a daytime hunt, when the wild boars are most unpredictable and daring. We had just stepped out of the Silverado at the forest's edge, waiting for the hunting dogs to scout around, when a lone boar suddenly poked its head out from the wet underbrush. I applied my knowledge of the terrain, standing on a slightly elevated mound to avoid the wind blowing my scent. Then I pulled the trigger. The boar dropped immediately. A clean shot, no noise. As the team ventured deeper into the forest, a low rumble echoed from ahead, sending a chill through the air. A full-grown male wild boar blocked the trail, moving closer with each step. My team leader raised his rifle, staying completely calm, knowing that even the smallest mistake could endanger the team. With just a few meters to go, the shot rang out. We all exhaled in relief, reminding ourselves to stay disciplined and maintain safety at all times. This is the survival instinct we rely on during real hunts. After quickly retrieving the prize, the team moved up the slope to scout the next area. We soon spotted a boar darting out of the brush and veering right. I raised my rifle, firing while also recording the moment on my iPhone 17 Pro Max for documentation. Beautiful shot, right? But let me tell you, this maneuver is extremely risky. Nobody should attempt it without extensive experience and absolute control over their weapon. Leaving the battleground, the scout team led us through a valley. A loud, thrashing noise came from a narrow crevice just a few meters away. A boar was trapped, struggling to break free. Using my knowledge of the landscape and keen observation, my teammate moved to the right to secure the safest shooting angle, making sure not to fire in the direction where others were positioned. One precise shot ended its struggle. Not far ahead, the dense forest opened up to reveal a muddy swamp where a monstrous figure suddenly emerged from the murky water. I quickly shifted to the left, keeping my distance, knowing that the swamp would slow us down and make us vulnerable to sudden attacks. A clean shot, and the boar was neutralized immediately. As you can see in situations like this, knowledge of terrain and survival skills are invaluable. After scanning the area to ensure no more boars were around, the team pressed on toward a higher ground. A dark shape darted between two large trees. This boar was smaller, faster, but made the mistake of running in a straight line through open terrain. My teammate quickly chose a higher position, lining up the shot based on its path. One bullet, and the boar dropped right by the mossy patch. Just seconds after the shot rang out, another explosion of sound echoed nearby. It turned out that my team leader had just made a cross-angle shot, taking down another reckless boar. This is the strength of teamwork and coordination, one of the core values that makes every hunt safe and effective. After a long day in the deep woods, we reviewed our entire journey, making careful notes to ensure everything adhered to U.S. law and served the purpose of protecting the crops of the local farmers. My mother's cornfield now looks like a battlefield, torn up soil, deep gouges everywhere. The wild boars have returned after harvest season, rooting for the last few ears left behind. This morning, we set out, not just to hunt, but to reclaim peace for this land. Will we succeed? Let's find out. Our strategy is built on understanding their instincts. After harvest, the boars grow wary, hiding deep in the brush or at the forest edge during the day. We'll push them out, force them into open ground we've already chosen. The pickup truck drops us off at the rally point. Boots grip the damp soil. Radios crackle. Rifles are checked and ready. Each of us takes our position, forming an invisible pincer. I take my position, eyes sweeping across the open field. Suddenly, from the tree lean, a dark shadow bursts out. It has no idea it's running straight into the kill zone. I track it through my scope, reading every stride, every heartbeat. Then, the perfect moment. Boom! The beast flips over, crashing into stillness. That first shot isn't just an end, it's a declaration. From this moment on, this land will know peace again. All around me, sharp, echoing reports ring out, each one marking another threat brought down by my brothers in arms. The drive continues. Another boar, panicked and desperate, bolts straight toward my position, unknowingly charging into a perfect trap. I stay still, calm, patient. Timing is everything. Closer. Closer. I squeeze the trigger. The bullet tears through the air, hits home, and the beast folds into the dirt. The sun climbs higher, heat rippling across the field. We shift to more open terrain. It's the time of day when boars retreat into the thick brush for shade. Knowing that, we send the hounds in. They crash through the undergrowth, flushing the boars straight toward my position. I steady my breath. My world narrows to a single line of sight. The target bursts into view, and the rifle roars. One clean shot. Perfect hit. Every bullet we fire brings the farmers one step closer to safety. "30 minutes later, word comes through, a boar is moving my way. I shift quickly to intercept. There it is, struggling to find a way out. I lock on. A gentle squeeze of the trigger ends its wild run in absolute silence. Across the field, my teammates' shots echo, more threats fall, one after another. By late afternoon, the light softens. We change tactics. The surviving boars are cunning. They'll try to slip away along the same old trails they've run 100 times. The narrow trail where I'm waiting. A shadow flashes across the gap, and the rifle speaks once more. One shot, one clean end. We return to the cornfield for a final sweep. Just when we think it's over, The hounds flush out one last boar, charging wildly through open ground. It's a gift of fate. I bring it into my sights, hold my breath, then pull the trigger. When the final beast falls, the hunt is done.
Yo.
Je la prends, je vais la mettre sur un truc.
Hein? Aqui, sim. Il y a des choses sangliers.
Regarde une punaise de là-bas.
C'est bon, gros, c'est bon. Regarde, lâche.
Ouais, c'est bien offert.
burada, paşa da burada. Büyük paşa.
Last night, a farmer rushed into the village in panic. A herd of wild boars had once again stormed in, devastating the entire cassava field by the forest's edge. Fresh hoof prints were still embedded in the mud, and the echoing roars in the darkness sent chills down everyone's spine. We couldn't let this continue. At dawn, we gathered all our weapons and specialized gear, radios, trackers, and cameras before heading deep into the forest. Every step we took was measured and quiet, moving beneath the thick canopy. Each of us scanned our surroundings, alert for the slightest sound. Would we be the hunters today, or the hunted? Let's find out. Our team leader quickly directed us toward a narrow trail, a path the herd frequently used. We split into smaller squads, holding our breath and waiting in absolute silence. There they were, a group of wild boars emerging from the shadows. The leader raised his rifle. He didn't pull the trigger immediately. Instead, he carefully calculated the bullet's trajectory, waiting for the perfect moment. Bang! The gunshot shattered the stillness, and one target fell instantly. It was the perfect opening shot, giving us a clear advantage in this deep forest hunt. The moment one boar dropped, the rest of the herd panicked and scattered in all directions. But everything had been planned in advance. Our teams were already positioned in a semicircle, ready to intercept. To the west, my teammate opened fire, sealing off their escape route. Another target fell before it could even change direction. A few more followed shortly after. Our ambush, encirclement, intercept strategy worked flawlessly, turning their escape path into a deadly trap. We pressed on, spreading out to track down the ones that had managed to flee. The leader signaled for us to maintain distance and keep in constant contact through our devices to avoid any surprise encounters. Creeping through the dense bushes, I spotted fresh hoof prints pressed into the damp soil. There it was, hiding deep inside the undergrowth. Moving silently and with full control, I advanced, staying calm and taking the upper hand. Then, with a single well-placed shot, I brought it down. At the same moment, another gunshot echoed from the left flank. One of my teammates had spotted a shadow, trying to sneak through the tall, dry grass. The moment the creature stepped into the open, he locked on from afar, waited until it was fully exposed, and fired. The target was completely neutralized. By now, the sun had risen high. Just then, our leader received a radio signal from the Southern Scouting Team. Fresh tracks were leading toward the grasslands bordering the forest. Without hesitation, we regrouped and moved out. The open terrain gave us better visibility and fewer obstacles. 5 minutes later, a dark figure dashed across our line of sight. It moved fast. I swung my rifle to follow and quickly estimated the lead distance to compensate for its speed. Bang! It went down instantly, the reward of patience and precision. On the opposite side, another wild boar suddenly burst out from the thicket, trying to break past my teammate's ambush. He stayed calm, letting it run exactly as predicted. When the animal reached the open gap, fully visible, he squeezed the trigger decisively. The bullet hit clean, ending its escape attempt in an instant. Our hunting team left the village while the mist was still hanging in the air, heading towards Kanto, where the wild boars were wreaking havoc. In just a few nights, they had destroyed countless crops, threatening the villagers' entire harvest. As experienced hunters, we knew all too well. If we didn't act quickly, the entire village would be in danger. Armed with guns, knives, and traps, we moved into Kanto with one goal: to eliminate this threat. But as soon as the first shot rang out, amidst the cliffs and dense forest, we realized what was waiting for us in the darkness: a pack of monsters. Join us on this hunt. Wild boars are instinctive creatures. They always choose the same paths between their feeding grounds and hiding spots. And that predictable habit is their weakness. We waited in our ambush position. The sound of hunting dogs suddenly rang out. John immediately raised his rifle. A massive boar burst from the thick bushes, its black fur gleaming. Two shots took it down instantly. Swift, no hesitation, a successful start to the hunt. But Kanto's forest is never predictable. We kept our rhythm, moving on, and soon we took down a few more formidable targets. The team split up, each of us well aware of the boar's paths and shooting positions. I hid by the edge of a thicket, gripping my S686 tightly after what felt like an eternity of waiting. When a moment came, I took down a target that could have caused severe damage if left unchecked. But that wasn't going to happen because our team was here. Despite the lurking dangers, we stood firm. This land is our home, and protecting it, well, that's something no one in our team needs to be reminded of. At the same time, my teammates took down a few more difficult targets. After hunting in the lowland forest, I quickly moved with the team up the hillside where there was a wider view, and it was the last line of defense before the villagers' fields. Mark was the first to spot a sign. A wild boar was moving through the valley, trying to sneak up to the farmland. The moment it emerged from behind the trees, John was ready. One shot rang out, taking the beast down before it could cause any damage. Our coordination isn't just from training, it's the result of hundreds of life and death moments shared together. The calm didn't last long. Mark and John discovered a new danger, silently advancing through the dense bushes to control the creature's movements. From my vantage point, I saw a dark figure dart out from the trees, heading straight for them, fast and vicious. Without hesitation, I signaled a warning. They reacted instantly. A single shot rang out, sharp and decisive. The beast dropped before it could even get close. Even with danger so near, our hunters remained calm and composed, handling the situation with the experience that only comes from years of hunting. If you think this moment was cool, give us a like. By late afternoon, the sun still blazed. I received word from my teammates. A group of wild boars was moving along the hillside. After a full day of tracking, we were finally seeing results. I held my position, preparing to intercept, setting up the strategy we had agreed upon. The moment it emerged from the thicket, I aimed my rifle and BM. The sound echoed in the silence, powerful enough to send the entire group of boars into a panic. Another shot rang out, splitting the group, forcing them to scatter deeper into the forest. They no longer dared to approach the lush cornfields below. Victory requires careful preparation, quick action, and smooth coordination between people who share the same goal of protection. By the time the day was ending and we were packing up to head home, we suddenly spotted a wild boar emerging from the opposite hillside. The hounds were already barking, pushing the furious beast towards us. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle and fired the first shot. The boar quickly ducked behind a thicket, but the hounds didn't miss a beat, driving it back into the open. A second series of shots rang out, securing the beast. The whole team climbed into the Range Rover, our vehicle packed with the day's haul, as we made our way back down the trail. In each of our hearts, there was a quiet joy, knowing we had protected the forest and ensured the peace of the villagers. Follow us for more thrilling hunts and heart-stopping adventures.